What's up, YouTube? Yeah, I haven't been on in a while. Apparently, stalkers are still trying to mess with my life. Well, one already stalked two of my social media platforms. Trying to use the Uno reverse card scenario to take the accountability and, I guess, you know, bad stuff that they did and put it on somebody else. Yeah, it was the same thing when she didn't get what she wanted in the relationship. She would try to pull all kinds of stuff, just like this, to get her way and, throw a fit, basically. This person has been diagnosed with BPD, severe BPD, narcissistic tendencies, and a boatload of other mental illnesses that go along with it. And she's trying to say that I said that her and her brother were incest. No, not you and your brother. The other one and her brother. The one that murdered the three children. The one that you jumped online trying to act like you were protecting, and then you tried to say that you were going to date her. See, the reason why I use your name is so people know who I'm talking about. As in, if I keep saying her this and her that and her this, it is very confusing. See, this is exactly what feminist psychopaths do. Do we have male psychopaths that try to do this? Yes, we do. The only one that's ever been violent in our past are you two. Me defending myself the way I should, even though you deserved way worse than what I've ever done. Is not abuse. It's not verbal abuse. It's not physical abuse. It's not any of those things. See, you can't sit here and deliberately attack a person's life, then try to play victim when they find out about it and bring it to your attention. See, that's not verbal abuse. You're not abusing somebody verbally for something they did not do. What you are doing is holding a discussion with a person that seems to think it is funny to mess with your life. Now, when this person is a female, for some reason, 80% of them in this position try to pull these types of moves. Everybody knows they do. We've watched it everywhere. We have both of these women, we have went to counseling under their direction, and it blew up in their face. Even one of them that had a month of manipulating a therapist before I ever stepped in the room. we had the one that had a month to talk to a therapist about everything she wanted to before I ever had a meeting with her and the therapist, had one meeting with me, her, and the therapist, and ran out of the room. Oh yeah, that therapist was pissed at her, and she knew it. See, they can sit here and say that this is slander, this is, uh, defaming. None of them are famous. One of them is claiming they have a job, and that me talking on my channel about my past relationship with this person is affecting their job. Your whole life should be affected by what you've done, and you know it. See, this is ridiculous that these women have enough balls to try and pull these things off. And the only reason they do is because look at what happens. They get the benefit of the doubt even when they are completely caught lying and putting up false reports. If that is not a blatant attack on the other person, I don't know what is. And I think it's funny. They're trying to act like they heard through the grapevine that they were being talked about on a YouTube channel. Then they try to say that, oh, that YouTube channel was made just because of me. Oh, you would love to believe that, wouldn't you? It had nothing to do with you until you stuck your nose in a situation where it did not belong. What do you think because you got Facebook and TikTok taken down that I don't still have those receipts? I do. Should have thought about that. How many times are you going to commit perjury before you actually get in trouble for it? Is that the next game you want to play? Because I'm not going to sit here and keep letting you do this. And you want to keep pushing it, acting like I'm the problem. I have never, ever been the problem. I have never done the things that you have said. Not even close. You want to meet some of the men that I've gotten in a fight with? You want to hear what one shot from me did to them? Where's all your medical from getting beat up by me? If I abused you and my daughter all the time, where's the medical reports? Where's the police reports? Are you trying to use the fact that you abused your daughter over a microphone? And you played the Uno reverse card just like you're trying to do now. Do we want to talk about how your daughter was left alone at your boyfriend's parents' house to be able to get a hold of an expensive microphone? Neglect from her mother. You want to talk about the bruises and everything that she came home with since you want to lie and say that she wasn't with you, which I still have all those text messages too. Yep, they were in a gray flip phone that you thought, since it was what, 2011, 2012, that I wouldn't have them. Oh, but I do. You keep talking and trying to push and play this Uno reverse card, I'm going to reveal it all. Do you understand that? You have already admitted openly that you had your uncle stalking me. You know that your brother has dirt on you. That's why you're over there trying to act like, oh, he was harassed. No, he wasn't. He was spoken to. That's not harassment. Might be unsolicited information because he didn't ask for it, but it's not harassment. What you did and what you're still doing is stalking and harassment because you want attention and you're not getting it. Not from me. I don't want anything to do with you. I don't even want to know you exist. And you think you're going to use violating the peace order as you were in a development that I didn't know you were in. Also, in your own words, you described that you yelled at me, I looked in your direction, I smiled, went around the cul-de-sac, disappeared for a minute, which that was me talking to my customer. Then I left the area. Even in your own words, you said, we haven't really met up that much, but the one time that we did, he didn't do anything. Right. So if I'm so dangerous and so abusive and so violent, how come I didn't do anything? Because you're not worth it. Do you understand that? You weren't worth it when we met each other. That's why I tried everything I could to get the hell away from you. And you did everything you could to stay right by my fucking side, even when I had to go to work. Really? I'm so abusive, but you won't come unglued from me. You lied about being pregnant. You even told your dad you were pregnant, and you weren't. You upset that man for no fucking reason other than to play off your lie. So you can run around trying to make this person believe that you're telling the truth, trying to make that person believe you're telling the truth. You're not. You're the one that stuck your nose in this. You're the one that asked for these things to be revealed. So I did. Now you want to cry victim after you ran around messing with a situation you had no right to do. Now, I know these 3 children don't mean anything to you because even your own children don't. But what you're not going to do is sit here and try and mess with my life all because I didn't want anything to do with you. This is why I didn't want anything to do with you. I gave you every opportunity not to be a liar, not to be a psychopath, not to play games, to show that you were a decent person, and you decided not to. You decided to do the complete opposite. That is on you. That would be called the accountability that you keep running from. You were the one that called CPS when you lost custody of your daughter, when you tried to manipulate custody of your daughter when you didn't have it. Yeah, they're all like, what? Yeah, this is all the crazy shit this woman did to try and keep abusing that little girl. The only reason she wanted her is because she got food and people helped her with things. That was it. She was mad at me because I didn't want anything to do with her. So she played these little games with this child. Somehow got people believing that the mental stuff that my daughter went through was my fault when she wasn't with me like that. She was with you when those things took place. We weren't together, so how am I responsible for that? That was on your watch, not mine. The Sam and Dex thing, that was all you trying to manipulate courts and custody agreements that were already put in to play that you went against. And that is all recorded. Thank you. You want to make these people believe that you took Jazz because she was being abused by her dad like you were. Oh, no. You were never abused. Neither was she. And you fucking know it. You told people that my mother and my grandmother knew that you were being abused and helped you to escape. And that is a flat out fucking lie. They both hated you, and they are full fledged feminists. For you to get on their bad side like that, you have to do a lot of bad, bad things. And you did. You thought because they played to you to get you out of here and out of my life that, oh, they were helping you. Yeah, they were helping me get you away from me. You wouldn't listen to reason. You wouldn't listen to, I don't want this. I don't want you. It took 2 years to finally scrape you off of me. But oh, yeah, I was so abusive. Right. That's how a woman acts when a guy's abusive, isn't it? Yeah, sure it is. And you're right. You almost got me. Wow, somebody that supposedly believes in God's gonna sit there and lie and manipulate like that. Really. So where's your stitches at from you getting your number 2 hole stitched? Remember? That was one thing you used to tell everybody that I did to abuse you. So where's that at? You told people that a song called Paralyzer gave you so much PTSD because it was my favorite song while we were together. No, it wasn't. It didn't even come out until we were broke up for over 3 years. So how the hell is that? This is what I'm talking about. This is the same stuff she pulled at Big Kmart trying to lie to her coworker, trying to make herself seem more, I guess, better than what she was. And yeah, that right there was the whole reason why we only made it one date and I wanted you out of my life. This is the reason why you lied about being pregnant. This is the reason you lied about your parents being in a fight. This is the reason why you tried to sneak into my bedroom. Oh, you didn't try. You did. I was still very nice and still chivalrous towards you, even though you had did nothing but cause problems. And this was just day one. Literally, day one. She she was technically stalking me from the beginning. She got my number from a friend. I didn't even know who she was. Didn't want her to have my number. Didn't ask him to give her my number. She shows up at my work the next day to show me who she is. Almost gets me fired. Didn't give a shit about none of that, did you? No. What, did you think I wasn't going to tell the truth about you too? Yes. That is the one way to get back at people that are lying on you. You think because you created that monster that is standing next to you, which is not my daughter, That is your brainwashed Frankenstein. You know, all that mental, uh, it wasn't abuse, it was something else. Mental injury is what they tried to say CPS uh, convicted me of, and they never did. No, they didn't. Jazzy was found a child in need of assistance because of her own behalf. That is what the judge said. And you're over here trying to make people believe that I was convicted of all this stuff with my daughter, and I wasn't. Why? Because it's not fucking true. So you want to talk about slander? You want to talk about defaming? I'm the one who had a business and a reputation that you all attacked, not you. And I would love to hear that you actually have employment because that's very hard to believe that you do. Weren't able to hold a job when we were together. You acted like the Wicked Witch of the West, and water got poured on you every time you had to do anything. You tried to make it seem like I attacked your stepmother, which I never did. And even the state police told you that I was the one that was attacked, and you and your dad were all on my side, wondering why I wasn't going to press charges. You gonna lie about that too? Oh, that's right, you already have. Pretty funny. That day you were so mad at your stepmother for doing what she did. You were even pushing me to press charges on her. I remember sitting on the brick wall outside the church that was across from your dad's apartment while the cops were talking to her. So if I'm so abusive and so aggressive and beat up this older lady, how come I didn't run from the cops? How come I didn't fight the police? Right. Because that's not true. So you couldn't get a peace order. So now you're trying to get the state to help you. They're going to look stupid. You realize what you're doing here? You don't care, do you? As long as you get what you want, right? Just as long as people don't see you for what you truly are. Everybody knows I don't care what they look at me as. They can believe whatever they want. I'll state the truth. If they don't want to listen to it, that's on them, not me. I warned your uncle that if he ever comes around me, we're going to have words. Yes, I did. And we will. Does it mean I'm going to stalk him? No, he knows that. Even though he's been stalking me for you. Imagine that. Even started that little dilemma that got my ear cut now, didn't it? I bet you felt so big about that, didn't you? You realize you got that guy seriously hurt? This right here is a scratch. You know that. She thinks she's a gangster. So you try to play Little Miss Innocent. Oh, but behind the scenes, you're trying to act like a badass, bloodthirsty gangster, huh? Where'd you get that idea? ideology from, because that ain't you. You've always been a weirdo nerd, which is one of the things I kind of liked about you. Yeah, that's what I was considered too. Not at first. Popular kids didn't like my opinion of them. So, yep, they asked me to sit at their table, and why do I sit with the nerds? I said, because they're cooler than you. Pissed them off. Yeah, started a whole bunch of fights because of that. I don't care. I spoke the truth. He used my full name. Yeah, that is your name, isn't it? Pretty funny. You used my name. And I'd love for you to tell me where my YouTube channel was made for you when it was made in 2016, 15 or 16. You can check out all my videos. There ain't nothing about you in none of them until you started attacking my Facebook and my TikTok and my children's situation. And yes, you dumbass, they did tell on them before it happened. And I don't need your bullshit insight to tell me what my kids were and what happened to them. You can't even keep your own life straight. You're living off the back of a fucking Marine. You're not even doing anything but controlling him. Yeah, which is one thing you could not do with me. Nope, I wasn't going to carry you around like you were some type of princess and do everything for you. No, I wasn't. Was I going to be nice to you and treat you civilly, be sweet to you? Yes, because I was. The only thing I wouldn't do is do everything for you. I did a lot for you, and you didn't give a shit about that. Yeah, you forget those 4 years? Huh? You had no money. Yeah, every bit of money we had was from me. Every apartment we ever bought was me, wasn't you. Every freaking thing I ever did that was positive was because of me. Everything negative that happened was because of you. And yes, those are my experiences, and I have every right to talk about them, whether they upset you or not. So, whether you get your way or not, I am never going to stop talking about it now. And I will repeat everything I have said from the beginning of our relationship to the end of it, always. You can call it whatever you want. The day you can prove that it is slander, which means not the truth, with actual evidence, not some scheme that you thought of and got away with. See, that's the thing about a narcissist, which is what you are. You have been diagnosed with it multiple times by multiple therapists, not just one, including ones from your childhood. So, there you go. I have never been diagnosed with it, and I would love for you to show me that. Because you say it, so you should have proof of it, right? Boy, I wonder if I have proof. You know, of Tina McCann, the one you said, oh, I don't know who that is. I've never met her. Remember that statement? Well, I hope you know that in my medical reports, it's mentioned. If you would like a copy of them, I can give them to you anytime you want. Then you can share them along with your bullshit that you keep trying to get out of. See, the reason you're doing this is because you don't want your little robot to find out that it's all a lie. And everything that you did to her, because then she'll find out that everything she went through was not true. And the only person that ever did anything wrong to her was you. And if you think that I don't know that you were the one that after you lost the custody hearing when you were in Elkton, that you were the one that tried to silently put CPS into the picture, thinking that because you were the one that was calling them, they were going to go on your side. Well, if you wouldn't have thrown the fit for the lawyer, if you would have shown up to the court dates, even though you should have been arrested on the first one you didn't show up to, maybe they would have believed you. But even if they would have believed you, that still would have been a lie. But that's the thing. You were so lazy and so mad at me for not wanting to be with you. You couldn't even pull off your own lie. And it made you look like an idiot. And what'd you do? You tried to act like that was my fault. How was that my fault? I wasn't with you. You were solely by yourself. So how did I make you miss court? I didn't. You were off doing something. Maybe that's when you met Steven. Or back messing with Phil. I don't know. I know one thing. You weren't working. You weren't getting your life together. So that's not what you were doing. You tried to lie and say that you were working at a place when you weren't working there. Yep, yep. Imagine that. Nothing but lies. Lie, 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 lie. Cherry Hill, you were the one violent. You're the one that started an argument, hid in the bathroom, and started throwing shit against the door. All I did was sit in the chair and watch TV. But yeah, I'm so violent. I'm a man. If you attack me physically, I'm going to respond. And you did plenty of times. I never beat you up. If that was the case, how come I protected you when my sister tried to pick a fight with you like you try to pick fights with me now? And then she did the same thing that night that you're trying to do now. Isn't that funny? What, do you think I'm not going to be able to prove all this? Obviously, you do. I have a big blue briefcase filled with nothing but proof on you. And yes, that's everything that's in it is proof against you. And now that you've stated stuff under oath, it's even worse because now that's perjury. Dummy. I advise you to back off and stop doing what you're doing. But yeah, you're right. You are a grown woman. You can keep doing this all you want. One day, I'm going to turn my focus solely towards you and what you did to that little girl. And if you think that's over, it's not. Not by a long shot. And I hope Jasmine knows she can sue the shit out of you for what you've done to her. I really hope she knows that. And you deserve every bit of it. So bring it on, sister. I never said that you and your brother were incest. I said that Tiffany and her brother Corey were, and they were.